Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. It's been quite a while since the last time I uploaded, and it's been kind of a rough stretch. I've had multiple things breaking down at once and needing repairs, and just has seemed like no matter how hard I work, I can never catch up, and all the repairs end up being more difficult and time consuming than they should. But I got headlight switch in my Jeep replaced, and that's all working right now. And tomorrow evening, hopefully I can get a new element installed in our oven so that it will actually cook a turkey for Thanksgiving. And then this weekend, I'm planning on digging up a frost-free hydrant. In fact, in the corner of the barn here, so I have to move a whole bunch of tires and other stuff out of the way so I can make a big enough hole to get down there, because I believe it is buried down 4 feet below ground level. So it's going to take a pretty good size hole to get down to that point and fix the broken hydrant. And that's a real frustration, but I'm hoping that the weather will cooperate, not be too cold, and I can get that done. But anyway, all that aside, that's just to explain where I've been and why I haven't really been feeling motivated or having the time to upload any content. But for this particular one, what I wanted to talk about just a little is my experience so far with some intermittent fasting. I haven't really talked about it to anybody other than a couple of my coworkers, just briefly explaining what I was doing. But it's been almost exactly 2 months now since I started. Never done it before. And what I'm doing is 5-2, where I eat normally, just a decent diet for 5 days a week. And then 2 days a week, I fast for most of the day. And, typically I'm doing at least 2 days in between those fasting days. And anyway, what I've settled on is just fasting until 4 o'clock. And then in the last hour that I'm at work, I have a snack just to get something in me and get some energy so that I can then go and either work on my other job or come home and, deal with all the chaos and repairs and just regular maintenance and firewood and such here. So, I need to have some sort of energy for that. So I've been trying to get in good high protein snacks there at work, and then after I spend some time working, then have just a normal dinner. And I've been working hard to just make those a standard dinner and not go overboard and consume a bunch of extra calories. Most of the descriptions I've read of the 5-2 protocol, they talk about doing like 500 to 600 or 700 calories in the evening, and I'm not sticking to that. I'm definitely getting in more calories overall on those fasting days. I don't really track my calories too closely or anything, but just as far as I can roughly estimate based on the combination of my afternoon snack and then my dinner, I'm probably more in the 1,500 to 2,000 calorie range. But when I total up kind of what I typically eat, my normal maintenance and diet in a day runs around 2,500 to 3,000 calories. So, I'm running like roughly 500 to 1,000 calories less per day just by not eating until 4 o'clock and then not going crazy when I do eat. So I am getting a reduction in calories there. Not a huge amount, but it does add up over time. And really, the reduced calories was not the main reason that I decided to start experimenting with this. I've read a fair amount about the different health benefits and clearing out some of the toxins in the system and reducing inflammation and other things. And it seems like there's a fair amount of research that supports the benefits of that. So it was worth it to me just for that, as well as for a little bit of reduction in calories. And then another big thing for me was just to develop the self-discipline to do that, because eating has always been something where I've had a hard time not doing it for very long. I always need to have food on hand, and I'm snacking on a regular basis. And, as long as I'm eating reasonable food and not in a real surplus, then it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I think having that discipline to be able to go for longer periods without eating is just good practice, especially when I factor in how I want to work on preparedness and dealing with discomfort and being ready for hardships and such. I needed to get that mentality that, okay, I'm hungry, but I don't have to eat right now. I'm not starving. I can carry on and function properly anyway without having to grab a snack. So that has actually been really good. The first couple of days that I did it were pretty challenging. And, by 2 o'clock, I was looking at the clock constantly and thinking about what I was going to eat. And, then as I've gotten more in the habit of just doing it consistently, I found that I really don't think about it nearly as much. And, I just consistently have water and coffee throughout the day. I definitely drink more coffee on those days, just as a bit of an appetite suppressant. And try and get some electrolytes with my water. And, I don't overdo it because I don't want to just overhydrate, but just a reasonable intake, and it helps take the edge off the hunger. And anyway, it's, over time, just in these 2 months, I've gotten to where it's really not that uncomfortable. On the days where I'm going to work and I know that I'm going to be fasting, I'm not really thinking about breakfast or anything, and I just get to work, grab my coffee, and get going, and I'm able to just continue and power through the lunchtime. And typically, most days when I'm doing it now, I just at lunchtime I'll go out for a walk, go down into town, and take care of errands and things like that, and just get a little bit of easy cardio, and I think it's been good for me mentally and physically. Aside from the discipline and just the health benefits, in those 2 months, I'm down roughly 5 pounds. I'm not too worried about losing weight quickly or anything. So, the trying to reduce calories more isn't a goal of mine. But I think if I continue to do as I am, I'll just gradually drop another pound here or there. And, the key is having those 2 days a week consistently, but then on the other days, still just doing maintenance level diet, not ramping up the intake just to offset it. I need to stay in that slight deficit from the 2 days of fasting. But, it's an ongoing process. I have been seeing a little bit of improvement in body composition. The waist on my pants is just a little bit looser now, and I'm getting slightly more vascular. So, you know, I've seen some progress on that, and I think long term it will definitely pay benefits there in the body composition. So, you know, if I can just keep gradually melting away some of the fat, just get down to a slightly better level, that would be great. Like I said, the mental aspect of it and just getting conditioned to that, it's actually surprised me how well I've adjusted to when 4 o'clock comes around. I get out my snacks, and as I said, definitely high protein, but it doesn't take all that much to satiate me at that point. So I'm not like just getting in a bunch all at once. You know, I get a reasonable snack and enough to give me the energy to go and do work and such, but it has been surprising to me how easy that adaptation has come about. And then by the time I get home, I have no excess appetite. I'm just ready for a regular dinner. So that's been good. One other thing that I've noticed, that one downside a little bit, from my perspective anyway, as somebody who really works on cold adaptation, is on the days where I'm fasting, I've noticed that in the evening and at night, even after I've eaten, I have a much harder time with generating heat. So, like for instance, right now it's about 30 degrees here in the barn, which is just shorts and t-shirt weather for me most of the time. You know, a lot of the videos I do in late fall and winter, you know, I would be in shorts, and like if I'm doing a workout, I'd be barefoot and with my shirt off. But because of the fact that today was a fasting day and I just am feeling a little bit colder and actually have to put on a bit of a jacket and stocking cap just to be comfortable, I could still do my regular shorts and t-shirt, but I would definitely be feeling it a lot more. So I've just gotten in the habit on those evenings and nights on the fasting days, I do wear a little bit more clothing and just spoil myself a bit. And then by the next morning, it's all good. You know, I get up and I'm right back to driving to work with the window open and feeling comfortable. So it's a short effect on that, but it's just something that I have noticed that I hadn't really anticipated, but I guess it kind of makes sense that the brown fat doesn't activate quite as well when the body has been going without food for a length of time. So anyway, that was just a kind of a random side effect that I noticed, but all in all, I'm happy so far with the results. I plan on continuing to do the intermittent fasting for the foreseeable future anyway. And even though I probably won't talk about it much, if at all, in my videos, and it's, as I said, it's not something I talk about a whole lot with other people either. Something that I found that I just do for my benefit, and I'm enjoying the results and the effect it has on me so far. Thought I'd share a little bit about that, and hope somebody found that interesting or informative. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.